Alright, this is my keyword outline that I'm going to be using for my portion of speech 4. And first off, I just want to thank Marius for the interesting information that he provided that was regarding the role that parents actually play in the awareness of mental health for students. And I'm going to be just discussing the role of teachers and staff. Right, so mental health is a really controversial and difficult topic to discuss for people all over the world. And in particular, students of higher education really struggle with mental health. They're in these, highly intensive environments where stress is constant and expectations for them are higher than they've ever been. And this can really cause them to crumble sometimes due to the anxiety and depression brought about by these factors, right? And the mental health of students in college is not talked about enough, not nearly. And some of the major figures in these students' lives that could help both raise awareness and better their lives are actually the professors teaching them. Professors, of course, have many responsibilities in university. No doubt are their lives very chaotic and very difficult. But remembering to, keep an eye out for the students that kind of show the signs that are struggling, and this could be due to the wrestles with mental health, is really key in protecting them and getting the help that they need, right? So teachers are around these students more often than most others, right? They see them more often than even their own parents do, most likely. And according to a study done by BYU, written with the article being written by Rob Eaton, mental health struggles is rapidly increasing nationwide. Over 60% of students feel as though they are completely overwhelmed or very depressed at least once a semester. So the rising difficulties and struggles is very apparent. Professors are the most likely to see these signs, and being active and helping the students, or at least aiding them in seeking help, not necessarily being the source of the help, is a really good behavior that needs to be adapted, right? While supporting students in whatever way that doesn't affect the flow of the classwork and the course, the professor can actively aid in counseling these students. Simply feeling as though your teacher is there for you and is approachable has already proven to increase academic success as well as the mental health aptitude of a student. So with professors being the most apparent in a college student's life, there's going to be plenty of techniques that they can use to, help those that are struggling. And one way to adapt this is to actually increase the education of mental health, not just for students, but also the professors. This could be major advancing steps in getting help. So based on studies conducted by a teacher who is actually award-winning, Nancy Baral, this is her very own article. She's advocating for mental health awareness and education and really talks about how professors can do something called microeducating, where you basically learn the bare minimum, at least to be there to condole or to, aid in seeking help. You don't necessarily need to, have all this coursework put onto you or learn all these things as a professor. Just doing a little bit of research as to, have a basic understanding of at least the telltale signs, right? Another study done by the organization of ESPER, and with the article being written by Lauren Drake, 62% of people that are ages 18 to 25 report that they have unmet needs in the mental health services. This is a clear lack in awareness and education regarding this topic. Students feel as though they don't actually have the resources that they would need in order to seek help, or at least these resources aren't brought about to them in a way that lets them know that they're there, right? So by educating professors, at least with enough information as to be aware of the effects and the signs of the students, taking action becomes much easier, right? While the education of mental health is not necessarily mandatory in all schools, which I believe it should be, this shouldn't stop teachers from at least working to promote the awareness of mental health in both the public as well for students, but also at least educating themselves to the bare minimum, right? By knowing more, seeking and giving help becomes much easier. So based on the studies mentioned and the clear dangers that are rising regarding mental health struggles, awareness for mental health must be improved. And professors can definitely play a major role in doing so. So students all over in college are struggling, and the lack of foundation and support they need really has to get better. By acting more aware of mental health and showing support to students, as well as educating themselves on mental health, uh, professors could really begin to better support those that they teach and can be active members actually in the struggle to bring about nationwide awareness for students uh, dealing with this sort of struggle in their mind, right? And lastly, I would actually like to introduce our new speaker, our next speaker, sorry, Matthew Maxim. He is going to be discussing the role of outside counseling services that they have in the awareness of higher education for students. And that's all I have. Thank you.